Welcome to the fourth episode of the Lakers Nation PH podcast. I'm Bert, joined as always by Kenan from Iloilo, all the way from Iloilo, and Andrea, all the way from Thailand. We're doing this pod on a Thursday night. The Lakers have the roster has been taking shape since the confirmation of the signings of Mark Gasol and Markieff Morris and Alfonso McKinney. So let's start with probably our best signing of this offseason, Alfonso McKinney. So let's hear first from Andrea. What are your thoughts about the great Alfonso McKinney?
I'm expecting big things from Alfonso McKinney. No, seriously speaking though, actually before this podcast started, before we started recording this, I was telling Bert, I don't know anything. I don't know that much about Alfonso McKinney. So, but aside from that I really don't know him. I know he signed a couple of 10-day contracts, with the Cleveland Cavaliers. But what I like about this signing basically is that it was instrumental for us to be able to sign Marc Gasol.
Yeah,
So
correct.
that's why I like this, because we traded JaVale McGee for Alfonso McKinney's contract and for Jordan Bell's contract, and we just guaranteed Alfonso McKinney, and that dump of salary from JaVale's salary ultimately was the reason we were able to sign Marc Gasol. So I'm all for this. I'm all for acquiring this man. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he'll be, I don't know, Jeremy Lin, when we had the Linsanity in New York. You never know. So
Sure. So how about you, Kenan? Uh, Al- Alvo Twitter handle. Did he win an NBA title with the Warriors or
Yeah,
did he?
oh, he did.
he did. 1819.
OMG. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Oh no,
Okay.
actually he was with the Warriors when they lost to the Raptors.
Oh, that was his first year, right?
No, second year.
Oh, okay. So
We know this guy very well, as you as you, as you can see.
The only reason I know this is because I'm looking at his basketball reference page right now.
he won the title,
No,
right?
no, he
Okay.
was on the losing side.
Do you have any other thoughts?
He was with the Golden State Warriors, like you were saying, when they lost
To the
The
Raptors.
Raptors.
the Raptors. Ah,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
And he
Ah,
was
he couldn't fill in KD's shoes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So aside from not being able to fill in KD's shoes, you have any observations about him?
Yeah, I'm looking at his page right now and I just can't find a stat that stands out. I guess his best stat is I don't know. He played 14.8 minutes, scoring 4.6 points a game, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I really don't have
Uh,
anything much to say about him except that I'm glad that Rob found a way to make some salary cap maneuvers to sign Mark. And if it means landing this unknown dude, then I'm all for it.
so it's his second year in the NBA. Do you
Right.
know how old is he?
I
How
googled
old he
right
is?
now. He's
He's 20,
28. That's why I
yeah,
was shocked.
He's 28.
But it's just
I
his
was
second year.
expecting like, okay, we're getting someone like 24,
18.
25. He's 28.
Oh.
So I remember one time he had a great game for the Warriors. Stephen A. Smith misspelled his name. And he was like, it's Alfonso, not Alfonso. And he was like puffing his chest and saying, you'll get it right soon. Parang saying he's gonna be the next All-Star or something. So that's as far as I remember who he is. And he didn't play shit in the playoffs for the Warriors after that. So maybe we should move on to
More important.
Markieff Morris. Markieff Morris signed for the minimum, $2.6 million to stay with the Lakers. There was a lot of chatter that he might go to the Clippers to join his twin brother. So Andrea, how relieved were you that he didn't join the Clippers?
I'm very happy. I'm super relieved that he's not going to the Clippers, because well, I really don't like the Clippers, as I guess everyone if who's been listening to our podcast has noticed. And if you're a Lakers fan, I guess automatically don't like the Clippers. I'm glad he's staying with us, and I think the team needs him. We need an enforcer, and he fits that role. Especially we have a lot of new guys, and I think when if we have Markieff Morris, we have someone who's like a stable defender and who's known the system, and I think he will be very relevant to us in this regular season because Markieff did not play a lot during the regular season last year, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So he joined closer or during the bubble na ba? Closer to the bubble.
After the trade
After the trade
deadline,
deadline,
they
yeah.
picked him
Buyout
up off
signing.
waivers.
Okay, so I think we can really use him during the regular season, the regular season, and I like it. I like that he's staying. I'm so happy he is staying.
Okay, so Kenan, do you think that fact that they have a joint account with he has a joint account with his twin brother, who just signed for 4 years, 64 million for the Clippers, helped in making him make this decision, sign for the minimum for the Lakers?
Yeah, I heard on the Laker Film Room podcast, Steve Ballmer is subsidizing his salary to come for the Lakers. No, I love this signing. Markieff became one of my favorite players in the bubble, and he obviously provided a lot of quality plays, making threes and stuff like that. And I'm just very happy he's back. Like the kids say, run it back.
Oh yeah, that's his tweet, right? That's what he tweeted.
Yep.
Run it back.
Yeah, he also tweeted beforehand that what did he say? He told his brother basically, "I gotta win title number two first, bro," something like that.
Yeah, I read that.
So NBA Twitter didn't um ex- thought that he was going to the or some other team to win title number two, but it was clear that he was going to back to the Lakers. And like both of you said, I think he's a very important role player for us. He can play center in some of our lineups, save AD from all those banging with big guys. He's a great shooter, especially during the bubble. He was lights out against the Rockets and other teams. Also, I think when there are lineups where Montrezl Harrell and Mark Gasol might not be playable because other teams go small, he can easily slot in into that center position,
Yeah,
and we
Yeah.
would not lose toughness. And for $2.6 million, imagine that.
But
Basically,
that's the beauty of being I guess Los Angeles Lakers and having LeBron. You get the quality players to stay for the $2.6 million.
yeah, imagine six. Marcus Morris is making $64 million. I don't think the Lakers would trade Marquis for Marcus because Marcus is an ISO player. He's a very good player if he plays for a bad team, like when he played for the Knicks. I think he averaged 20 points or something. But when he's not a championship player,
yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
unlike Markeith does all the dirty stuff.
Yeah.
So we
Markieff
can live
for
with this dumb pass in the end of Game 5 of the NBA Finals as long as he's our enforcer.
Ibang dirty play yung kay Marcus eh. Tripping Luka
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah, I
like that.
forgot Marcus Morris is a dirty player.
But
That's
si
why,
Markieff si Markieff yung ano the player that if he didn't play for Lakers, I hate him talaga. Like I don't like him if he didn't play for the Lakers, but he does play for Lakers, so I love him.
I think kaya sinign ng Dallas James Johnson
Mhm.
para they have this enforcer, this tough guy who will Clippers won't be able to punk Luka Doncic. So let's move on to. So we all agree that it's a relief that we got Markeith. I think signing Markeith is like solidified our rotation even more. But this guy, the next guy, really made our team the deepest team in the NBA, in my opinion. Probably, of course, we all think that we are the we're already the best team in the NBA. But this created some distance, I think, when we signed Mark Gasol. So Andrea, are you excited to have another Gasol in purple and gold?
Yes, I'm very excited about this. And last episode, if people were listening to or if people listened to last episode, we were saying that we're all happy with the current roster that Rob Pelinka has signed already, or we already have. And the only missing piece that we think we should go for is a big guy. And Mark Gasol is who we want to sign, and we got him. So I'm very happy that he's with our team now, and he's another Gasol. That's one, and I love Pau so much. But even beyond that, Mark Gasol can stretch, can be a stretch player. And imagine if AD is going to drive, LeBron is going to drive, then we can have someone. He doesn't need to do so much. He just needs to spot up, stretch the offense a little bit, and we have another shooter because he's become this shooter, especially with the Raptors as well. So I'm very happy with this. And plus, we have another defender. And if AD is resting, and Montrez is also resting, then we can have another big guy playing, defending. Although, of course, he's not the Mark Gasol that we knew with the Grizzlies, but I think he's still okay. He's still good enough, and I'm happy with this.
Yeah. So Kenan, Mark Gasol, another Gasol brother,
Yeah.
drafted him. Just like Magic said, we drafted. What was his Magic tweet?
Fun
Tweet?
fact. He
Fun fact. Fun
Oh yeah, there was a fun fact.
that I'll try to look up for it. Wait. He said,
one of those classic Magic tweets.
"Man, he tweets so much. When was this?
I
How
think it
many?
was 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Okay, let me quick rundown on of Magic tweets. I'm so glad the Lakers resigned Markieff Morris because he shot 42% from the 3 point line during the playoffs, opening up the floor for the Lakers two superstars, LeBron and AD. Okay, I'm so happy that the Lakers resigned. He spells resigned like you resigned from your job. Kentavious Caldwell pulled a 3-year deal because he earned it. He played such an important role and played great on both ends of the court for the Lakers during the final. Did he delete the Marc Gasol
No,
tweet?
it's here. He said, "Fun fact: Mark Gasol was actually drafted by the Lakers and then traded for his brother Pau."
Wow.
Thanks.
Fun fact.
Before that, he said, wow, wow, wow.
Oh, did he?
With Marc Gasol signing with the Lakers, now the Lakers are too deep at every position. This is definitely, without a question, a championship team. Thanks, Magic. Okay, going back, Kenan.
Right. I love Magic.
Wow, 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 Marc Gasol.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, I guess I would say wow, wow, wow because we signed Mark. I in the previous episodes, I think we mentioned. I think we had a unanimous decision that we wanted to sign Pau. I mean Mark. Yeah, but Pau also.
Yeah, we still want to sign Pau. Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah, yeah. We wanted to sign Mark, and we got it. Like Andrea said, he's not the younger Mark who's a little more athletic than he is now. But what he provides is intelligence. Both Gasol brothers have high basketball IQ,
Yeah.
and obviously he can't body players as much as he could in his younger years. But on defense, but now what he brings is intelligence in picking his spots, um, uh, smart rotations, and just being in the right place and telling his teammates where to be on defense. And I think that's the most important part of his game that he brings to the Lakers right now.
Yeah. Also, he would be one of those what you call specialists.
Yeah,
When we have to guard Nikola
yeah,
Jokic.
yeah.
I tweeted earlier this morning of the stats between Jokic and Gasol, and they had some battles.
In the Euro,
Of course,
in the
sorry.
Euro basket as well, I would imagine.
Yeah, he's Mark is like like what I think was Jackie McMullen in the Bill Simmons pod saying, Mark Gasol is like a way smarter JaVale and Dwight with less skill. But my more prof. They, basically, most of the NBA analysts, even those who hate the Lakers, are saying the Lakers just got a whole lot smarter with Marc Gasol. I don't. This is not a. It's not my words. It's what they are saying because we lost Dwight, JaVale, who may sometimes be what they say as goofy. We
Shocking
lost
logic.
J.R. Smith and Deion Waiters, and they were replaced by very what should you call this professional players.
Hmm.
Also, like what we said with Markeith, we have bigs who can finish against any team. We can adjust and play with any play style. We can go big, we can go small. Last year, actually, we were flexible with our lineups because, like versus Portland, we can go big because they were using Whiteside and Nurkic. Second round, when the Rockets played micro ball, we just used Markeith, and they had no answer for us. Versus Denver, we unleashed Dwight. So I think it will be the same this season, and even better because Trez Harrell is should we say a more better pick and roll player than Dwight and JaVale now because he's just 27. So we all agree Mark Gasol was I think one of the best signings of the offseason in the NBA in general. For two 2 years, 2.6 million.
Hmm.
Are you worried with what people are saying that he's washed now?
But yeah, I understand the sentiment that he's washed, but like I think we talked about this also. Denver, sorry. Toronto really relied on him a little too much
Uh,
during the playoffs. There was talk that also that he was not in good shape during the bubble because at the time during the bubble, yung COVID situation in Spain was really bad.
Yeah.
He was worried about his
mm,
parents who
mm.
were in Spain back then, so might have affected his play a little bit. But if I remember correctly, there was pre-bubble. There was this circulating photo of Mark Gasol looking ripped. I don't know if you guys saw that. Uh,
No, I don't
I think I
don't,
remember that.
don't
Yes.
think
was it Photoshop or I don't know.
I.
So maybe that could be a factor, but like we said, we're going to this topic next. I think he will be just playing around 18 to 24 minutes, something like that, depending on the matchup. So him guarding Jokic for 20 24 minutes is already a great boost for the Lakers, and especially Anthony Davis,
Hmm.
who will get less time at banging against the Jokic, Embiid, um, Carl Anthony Towns of the world. So I think he will just fit like a glove to this Lakers team because he will not be relied as much as in the past during his Memphis and Toronto days.
Yeah.
So
And
so
one thing about Mark is that he's no pushover also. He can be an enforcer if needed.
yeah, actually. Oh, and also yes, he's really basketball IQ is top notch. So he would LeBron AD wouldn't mind if one of them missed an assignment and Mark Gasol calls them out. I think
Yeah.
they will get along just fine. So let's speaking of getting along just fine. Let's move to our next topic. This has been a discussion since we've fo- uh, basically formed the core of our team. Probably we will be having this 10-man rotation. So, Andrea, who do you think will be the starters?
So, of course, you have LeBron and AD. Caruso, I would really hope that he would be the one starting, and I think he deserves to start. So I would think he will be the one starting. Markeith should start as well. And hold on, who's the other one? Markeith, and of course KCP. Sorry, I forgot KCP. So I think those are the starting five that we will have, and I think that's a very solid starting five. And in reality, you don't have someone new, right? So sorry, except for Mark Gasol, but everyone else is has been there, so I'm not worried with any chemistry issues. And plus, as I've said this before as well, LeBron buys into these new guys. LeBron believes that these guys deserve to be in a team with him, and we've seen how LeBron is with his team. He took this Cleveland Cavaliers team, who basically were composed of really non-stars, to the final. So I'm okay with the chemistry as long as LeBron will really take them under his wing. So not a problem at all.
Yeah, he took Jordan Crawford to the finals.
That's
That's
true.
what he
That's true.
called Jordan Clarkson, Jordan Crawford.
Crawford.
Uh, yeah. So Kenan, you have the same five.
No, actually, I have LeBron and AD, of course, and at my center position I have Mark, and then for the two guards I have KCP and Wesley Matthews.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think Wes is getting the start. I I do believe AC Caruso has more than proven himself that he's capable of starting, but I feel like Vogel is gonna keep him on the bench, but it's not like he's gonna get bench minutes. He's still probably gonna get high 20s, but he's not starting. I think they could use Wes Matthews' defense and shooting to start the game.
Okay. So it's KCP, Wes Matthews, LeBron,
AD,
ADN, Mark
yeah.
for you. For me, I have the same lineup with Andrea. This is why. So to recap, it's um, Gasol, AD, LeBron, KCP, or Wes Matthews. Doesn't matter to me. Both play the two guard. They can play the small forward actually up too. And Caruso's my point guard or the other guard. Um, my reasoning for this is for starting Caruso is LeBron will be this. We have the condensed season, right? 72 games, lots of 4 games and 5 nights in 5 nights, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so LeBron, sorry for the term, load will be load managed. I think, and it's for the best interest of the Lakers and LeBron to
Yeah,
be load managed. So we just won a title, so he more than earned it. Earned the load managing, and
yeah, yeah.
si- unlike someone from across the hall in the junior varsity team who not only he sits out games and doesn't talk, doesn't even cheer for the team, whatever. Um, LeBron won't be like that. When LeBron's on the bench, it's laughing, sometimes drinking wine or whatever. Um, so when during the games that LeBron will be sitting, there has to be this ball handler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up the point guard who will bring the ball up, set up things. If Caruso doesn't start, who will be the point? I mean, when if Caruso is in the starting lineup, start pa lang, uh, he has this chemistry with the other four guys, right? Uh, they would know. So he will ease LeBron's ball handling duties and ball handling duties. And when LeBron sits out, who will naturally take his place in the starting lineup? It's Kyle Kuzma, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. So when Kuzma takes the place of LeBron, the lineup would be Caruso, KCP slash Wes Matthews, Kuzma, AD, and Marc Gasol. So there's this ball handler in the starting five automatically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when the second unit comes in, it's Dennis Schroeder. He will be the primary ball handler with either KCP or Wes Matthews, Trez Harrell, and Markieff Morris. That will be the bench. So I think for continuity and para may ball handler palagi, di ba?
Hmm.
Sa lineup when LeBron sits or AD sits. I think it's important to start Caruso from the very start of the season to develop that chemistry with the starting lineup.
Hmm.
So it also gives Schroeder makes allows Schroeder to be the primary ball handler off the bench. That's my take on the starting five. So chemistry issues. You don't see any friction. Trez Harrells from the toxic Clippers locker room. Andrea, do you think he will be a problem?
Sorry, so I think mali yung nasagot kong tanong earlier. So I was I was already answering this question. So same answer though. I was talking about the chemistry of the first five, the starting five. I don't think there really would be any issues honestly, and same answer as I mentioned earlier. It's because we have LeBron James and we have AD who are great leaders, and I think that's something that you don't see in papers, but you saw it really if you followed the Lakers last year or last season, and if you followed LeBron before, which I did not appreciate because I didn't like him before he joined the Lakers. But if you followed him last year, if you followed our last season, you really see how instrumental LeBron is to bringing everyone together. So I don't foresee any issues with the if it would have been harder actually or more difficult last year because as Bert was pointing out earlier, we had more of the goofy players last year. This ones
Yeah.
the players that we have right now are real pros. So LeBron doesn't even need to put them or like parang make them behave, right? So I
Yeah.
think I'm not worried at all about that.
How about you, Kenan? Any Trez Clippers
Uh,
conspiracy theories?
I wouldn't call this a concern, but it's something interesting to note, I guess, as the season progresses. I think this was mentioned in another pod. It's interesting to see how Trez and Dennis Schroeder responds. For sure, their touches would decrease, especially with LeBron and AD commanding much of the scoring touches. Although they probably won't play that much together, at least I think their touches would decrease from what they're used to in the Clippers and in the Thunder. It's really not a concern, but I think it's something to watch out for. But overall, I'm not worried about the chemistry of the entire team. Like previously pointed out, LeBron and AD are great leaders. They're gonna find a way to make everyone be friends with one another. LeBron's gonna probably gonna invite them to his home and
Barbecue.
yeah.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, and I don't know, bribe them with wine or something.
Yeah. Drink a lot of wine and I don't know what is he advertising right now? Some
I
product.
Lobo, the tequila, is it
Yeah,
the
tequila.
tequila
oh
brand?
yes,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
See his stories full of
It's
tequila.
his stories every day he posts about it.
He posts too much. He posts too much. I can't check them out all.
A little segue. Did you see the picture of Bronny?
Yeah, the one where they're staring at the basketball court.
They were saying that LeBron James is a 27-year-old child.
Future Laker, Bronny.
Hashtag future maker.
To about chemistry. For I remember there was a game. I think it's in the regular season, one of the last games with played with fans. The Lakers versus the Clippers. We were up. I don't know by how much, but it was towards the end of the game. LeBron drove against Marcus Morris. So I think you remember this play. Trez helped out on Marcus Morris, of course, because LeBron always kills him on defense. When LeBron drove, he made this spectacular bounce pass to a cutting Anthony Davis for the reverse dunk. Paul George was caught ball watching, or I don't know what he was doing
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, yeah.
as usual. Trez Harrell was like, "What the hell are you doing?" Paul George is like, shrugs his shoulders and
I think I remember
have the player in the world. I think that's one of those Clippers chemistry problems
that. Hmm.
because I think Trez Harold really cares so much about playing basketball and everything. He wants to improve, be perfect. And Paul George was like, Well, that's the problem with the Clippers. They're puffing their chest, saying they're the best team in the NBA when they have not won anything. Paul George is acting like an NBA champion. Yung hindi mo pwede sisihin, parang ganun. Uh, and then I think this is a perfect time to remind everyone that the Clippers blew a 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets. And with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George scoring 0 points in the fourth quarter of Game 7. So, going back to the real superstars, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I think Trez Harrell will not be able to side eye Paul George, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James because he has too much respect for these two. They're NBA champions, probably the two top three players in the NBA. Depends on what you think of Giannis. Uh, so I think, like you said, chemistry won't be a problem. But I really hope we can sign Jared Dudley because there's I think he was a good cop, right?
Yeah.
In the locker room last year.
Mm. But
LeBron,
we can still sign at least three players, right?
I think only two. Tama
At
ba? I think
Yeah. I'm not sure.
last tweet I saw from Bobby Mark, and I think we can still offer a two-way contract if
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
mistaken. Can we still offer a two-way contract to Giannis' brother?
I'm not sure how many years is in the league because the maximum is dapat 3 years lang eh.
Okay. So what? Oh, how can I forget his name? It's Tianis, right?
No, it's Costas. So now
Oh crap! Stupid.
that's his teammate.
Oh, NBA champion Costas Antetokounmpo.
So he was drafted in 2018. So does that count? If
18,
wait,
18, 19,
2018.
19, 20. Yeah, I think pwede pa.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so book that spot for him. So let's move on to another superstar. I'm probably the superstar of this off season. Rob Lowe. Just joking. Rob Pelinka, the guy who doesn't know shit about the salary cap, according to
That's
some angry dude last year. So Andrea, how would you rate Rob Pelinka's off seasons? I think A plus is the highest, E the lowest.
A plus plus plus. I think he surpassed everyone's expectations. But for some reason, I think also people have very low expectations from him, which I don't understand. I know that previously we didn't get to sign big names, and also last year when we were waiting for Kawhi, we were left to after Kawhi didn't sign with us, we were left to scramble for players, and that's why we were after AD. The next signing would be Danny Green, right? Which isn't really bad, but I think people really underestimated Rob Pelinka. So for me, this the lineup that he's created now, I think is very good. Lakers have become so much deeper in terms of our roster. So I think this is, and plus we were able to sign Mark Gasol for 2 years of minimum veteran minimum. So I think this is a really, really good off season for us. And we've just become stronger. And what I really like here is that even if we just won last year, right? And it would have been really easier to not do anything and be complacent, and we have and maintain chemistry. What Rob did is to push the envelope a little bit further. So we got the guys that we really needed, because as I've mentioned last year, these were the free agents, the people that we've signed were the free agents who were still left after Kawhi has signed, Paul George was traded. Like everyone has taken their pick already, and these were the guys who were left behind. And then we won a championship with them. And now we're in. I think Rob Pelinka was really had his eyesight on making sure that we sign the right guys. I think he accomplished that a lot. We needed perimeter shooting. We got that. We needed defense. Well, we have AD, but we needed some bodies to help in terms of defense. We got Mark Gasol. We've got Montrez is not that good in terms of defense. But we were able to sign back Markeith Morris. We still have KCP. So overall, I think this is a successful off season, and I'm very happy for Rob Pelinka that he's now gaining recognition as a good executive. And I want to just say that from the very beginning, I trusted Rob Pelinka just because of he was the agent of Kobe Bryant. So I don't really understand why people doubted him that much.
Okay, really happy for Rob Lowe. Um, the
Uncle
resemblance is
Uncle
so
P.
resemblance is so uncanny between the two.
Yeah.
Before we go to you, Kenan, I just want to read another Magic tweet. Lakers GM Rob Pelinka signing Montrezl Harrell, Wes Matthews Jr., and trading for Dennis Schroeder. Can we say executive of the year? Magic's praise for Rob Pelinka is really baffling for me because he went to first take and basically said Rob Pelinka was backstabbing him because Rob Pelinka told Jeannie Buss that Magic Johnson was not doing his job when in fact Magic Johnson was not doing his job.
Yeah.
So funny. So Kenan, how would you rate Rob's offseason?
I wanted to make a joke about Luol not getting rid of Luol Deng's contract, but he just won't get it and cancel me or something.
He did try. He did try.
No, I did give him an A plus also. He made splashes right off the bat. I think the Schroeder trade was the first trade of the offseason, and the champs started things off with a bang. And it was indicative of his entire performance for this offseason so far. And he signed players that either I like really, really good, and and players that I've coveted for a long time. So yeah, kudos to Rob, executive of the year definitely per Magic.
Yeah, for Magic. I don't know how Magic stuff with a straight face. What did he think people would forget what he did 2 years ago? That was 2 years ago, right?
It feels like a lifetime ago.
Like really long. This year has been really long. So I also gave Rob Pelinka A plus. He the Montrezl Harrell signing came out of nowhere,
Hmm.
right? Nobody expected him. I thought he was going to the to the Hornets or something, but uh, also the Dennis Schroeder trade also came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, it
So
was so random.
Rob, yeah, Rob, really. I think we should also give him credit last year when Kawhi held us hostage. Basically, on the fly, he had this plan B
Hmm.
and signed like 5 players in 20 minutes, 30
Oh, that's
minutes,
true. Yeah.
and put up a roster that's full of interesting people, but character guys who will listen to LeBron and AD because when LeBron and AD played leading the way and show their leadership by playing like gods. Everybody was uplifted and always and worked hard. LeBron James played defense for the first time in what 4 or 5 years in the regular season. So,
He takes charges.
and I don't know if we were lucky that Ty Lue didn't want to sign a 3-year deal. We got probably the best defensive coach in the NBA in Frank Vogel. There's some luck involved in Rob's general managerial career so far, but also kudos to Genie Bus, right?
Mhm.
He believed in Rob Pelinka. He believed in Kobe's advice that what's that tweet? Nobody knows the business of basketball
Yeah,
than Rob Pelinka. So yeah, he he was a former agent for the longest time, so he knows how to deal with that side of the fence, right? I think that's why he and Rich Paul really connect
yeah.
because both are agents. So happy that we have. Who would have thought that we would be happy with Lakers management, considering this 6-year turmoil, 7-year turmoil that we were one of the worst run front offices in the NBA.
Yeah.
So happy that we're back. So unanimous A
Yeah.
plus for
Yes.
Rob Lowe. So before we move on to the questions from our followers, I would like to start this mini segment where we probably just state 3 facts about the Lakers that probably not most people know, but the diehards will probably know.
Obscure
Um,
facts are fun.
so we will start with easy facts. So basically, I'm just comparing the Lakers and the Clippers. Flip.
Do you think there's a
Back then,
podcast about before you start, Bert? Is there a podcast for Clippers fans?
is there a
A
podcast?
podcast for Clippers fans?
Is there is there a Clipper film room, Kenan?
Yeah, I think there's a Twitter account named Twitter Film. Yeah, Clipper
Are you
Film.
serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Wow.
Garbage. Probably garbage. Like the polar opposite of Coach Pete.
Yeah.
Oh, disgusting. Just thinking about it. Anyway, if you had to guess, how many division titles does the Lakers have? Ballpark. Any? It's Andrea. You first.
Division titles,
Without
right?
without googling, of course.
Yeah, yeah. So basically we have 17 titles. I would assume we have more division titles because some finals maybe we lost or some playoffs we lost along the way. 17. I would put it at 27. Random.
Great
How
number.
about you, Kenneth?
Yeah, I guess around the mid 20s. I'm going with Kobe's number 24.
Oh, you're correct. We have
Oh.
24. We won our 24th division title last season. How ironic, right?
Yeah.
How many
Oh
division
wow.
titles does the Clippers have?
I think this one's easy. Zero. None.
How about you, Kenan?
I think I'd go with three during the Lob City era. I think they won. They won
Yeah,
the Pacific Division during that time, if I remember correctly.
Kenan was closer. They had 2.
Two.
Imagine all those puffing their chest. They have Love City. They have Kawhi. They've
When was
screwed
the
over the Lakers, and they
when did
have
they
2
win?
division
During
titles.
the I guess during the Blake Griffin Chris
Yeah.
Paul era.
So that's how many retired jerseys for the Lakers.
Teka, dapat alam ko to sa NBA 2K to.
Wait, parang dapat nabibilang natin to kasi they always
Okay,
show it anyway.
you can try to enumerate the players so that you can have the number.
I don't know everyone, but I would put it at around. I'm counting it based on the jerseys hang and my visual memory of of things when they flash it on screen, right?
Basta alam ko medyo
How many?
selective sila sa paghang ng jerseys.
32? Sorry, maybe mga 22, not 30.
That's too much.
That's too
Kenan,
much.
I'm going with 18.
that's too much too.
Oh, really?
Unlike the Celtics, we don't hang everyone
Yeah.
in the Raptors. We have 11.
Oh,
Ah, really? And two of them is for Kobe. Kobe?
Yeah. So it's 24 for Kobe. 34 for Shaq. 33 for Kareem, 32 for Magic, 52 for Jamal Wilkes.
I guess
Um,
Jerry West, right, is retired.
I forgot the number of Jerry West, so I have to look it. I'm just counting. So it's Jerry West,
I'm thinking.
Gail Goodrich, Bill Chamberlain. So Gail Goodrich is 25. Jerry West is 44. James Worthy 42.
Ah, yeah, James Worthy. Yeah.
The last one is Elgin Baylor 22. So 11.
Yung Minneapolis teams, wala, hindi, akala ko
Yeah,
group sila yung
yun yung
naka-retire. Or
they're not considered as ano retired numbers because the Lakers still use their numbers.
Si George Mikan. What was his number? Sorry, I'm not googling it. Mikan.
That was one of Bill Simmons' arguments why the five Minneapolis Lakers titles is not counted because Mikan's number is not retired. So,
arguments.
so I think this is pretty easy. How many Clippers jerseys are retired?
0.
Do you think they would
Zero.
retire Blake Griffin's jersey?
They have retarded jerseys in years. I don't think they will retire any players. They should retire pandemic peace because it's bad luck. Okay. So last is how many 60-win seasons for the Lakers? 60-win seasons. Well, last year we couldn't reach 60 because the season was shortened. But I'm pretty sure we would have won 60 games last year. Any guess?
7. I'm going with 7.
How about you, Andrea?
The whole 60 game seasons?
No, 60-win seasons.
Yeah, 60 win seasons.
I just think they prioritize the playoffs over regular season.
Yeah, so I would, yeah, that's why I was thinking maybe we would be it would be less. I will put it at 5.
We have 11.
Oh, wow.
Magic Johnson had 6 or 7 of those seasons. Kobe and Shaq had 1. Kobe and Pau had 1. And Chamberlain and
Right?
West won 69 games. Kennan's favorite number for some reason.
Nice.
Nice. So how many 60-win seasons for the Clippers?
I like this comparison. I don't know. Maybe 0.
I'm not sure. Did they win 60 games during the Lob City era?
I don't think so.
I'm going with 1 just to be safe.
I'm going with
That's not
0.
safe. They didn't win 60 win. They didn't have any 60-win seasons, Kenan. 0.
0. Okay.
So the Clippers down my ass hashtag. So that's it for our 3 Lakers random facts. Actually, those were not random. I just wanted this on the Clippers. So screw them. Let's go to the questions. I'm sorry, I forgot who asked this question. I didn't take the screenshot. I just copied his comment and then I didn't screenshot his comment. So whoever you are, I hope you're listening and your question is going to be answered. Why did we cut Jordan Bell? He's a great defender. Do you want to start, Andrea?
Well, it wasn't a guaranteed contract. I think I was surprised also that Alfonso, Mr. McKinney, the great one, was also a guaranteed contract initially. But I know for Jordan Bell's contract was never guaranteed anyway. So that's why we cut him.
Okay.
Or did you mean why did we choose Jordan? Why did we choose Alfonso McKinney versus Jordan Bell? Is that the question?
Well, his question was basically just why did we cut him? He was a great defender, though. So, Kenan, thoughts on Jordan Bell? Jordan Bell's tragic cutting.
He's just a victim of the business side of the NBA.
Mm.
But I was surprised that the Lakers chose McKinney over him at the time because we didn't know we're getting I thought at the time it was a good backup just in case we didn't get Mark or Markeith. But now it's all moot. So to answer the question, it's just business.
Yeah. Also, we wouldn't have been able to sign Mark Gasol
Oh yeah, right.
if
That
if we didn't cut Jordan Bell. So also to answer his question, Jordan Bell is not a great defender. Uh,
he was
they
good.
were hype. The Warriors fans were hyping him to be the next Draymond Green, and then he got shipped to Cleveland of all places, and he couldn't even play for Cleveland. That's like the third worst team in NBA. I don't get where this love for Jordan Bell is from. So is coming from. It's like 6'4", 6'5". So I really don't get it, and he never materialized to what Warriors fans are hyping up him to be.
Fun fact:
Um,
just because you're good at blocks doesn't make you a good defender.
yeah, true. Well, we will be having this. Maybe we should call that segment "Fun Fact" in as a tribute to the great Magic Leads.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Okay, from now on, we will be calling it Fun Facts. Okay. So next question is from Andrew Fernandez. Before we go to his question, a shout out. He just became a dad.
Oh,
Said
Congrats.
congratulations.
yeah to a bouncy baby boy named Murdoch, the newest member of Lakers Nation, though PH. So like his dad, happy to have another loyal Laker fan since birth. So his question is, well, actually, he has a couple of questions. Have you guys seen the Caruso video? Have you? I think I saw this.
Yes, I saw it. I saw it actually. He looks skinnier.
Oh,
He
that's
Yeah,
looks
he was
leaner.
dominating. Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know who he was playing against, but he looked good.
yeah. He looked skinnier. He looked leaner. Yeah, but I saw that video. But it looks like he was just playing with. I didn't look at it that intensely. But he looks like he was just playing with random guys actually.
But he's the goat, so everything he
Yeah.
does. Follow up is his question also is, what's the rotation going to be like given LeBron will ease into the season? I
um,
think this is with reference to his conversation with former U.S. President Barack Obama.
what was the question again? I didn't get it.
Uh, what's the rotation going to be like given LeBron will ease into the season? Because remember, LeBron told Barack Obama told LeBron to take it easy or take the month off during the first month of the season, and LeBron replied, "That's why I got." Or Barack Obama said, "Make let Anthony Davis do all the work," something like that. So his question was, what's the rotation going to be like given that LeBron will be what would you call it, autopilot mode, airplane mode for the first half of probably the season? Okay, Andrea, you can answer this first.
Wait, so the question is that what would the lineup look like, right? But I would
Yeah,
still think that LeBron would start. I mean, would still play a lot more than what we're expect. I guess he will not. What trying to say is that I don't think he will skip that many games. I'm for sure he will be like what you always say, uh, load managing. But I don't think he will skip that many games. That's one. But so the rotation, I expect him to still start. And like I said, LeBron James, AC, KCP, AD. Oh, so many acronyms. And then Marcus All will start. And then once LeBron James goes out, Kuzma will come in. And I think they would probably also take AD out earlier. And that's where I would think Montrez or Markieff would be coming in. So basically that's it. The starting five would be there. I think every game, or not every game, but usually they would start, and then and maybe in the middle, LeBron will have to sit down, middle of the first quarter. That's what I expect.
so around 32 minutes
Yes.
per
What is
game.
his average? He averaged 36, right?
No,
This last
he just,
season.
Which is low
I think he's
this year.
34.
At 34. Ah, okay.
That was
So
one of low. I think that's the lowest of his career, right?
Career low.
Very
oh,
low. So
I think he would
uh,
be going low if it's 34. I would think he would go with like 30, yeah, around 30, 32.
Yeah, I agree. So Kenan, if LeBron sits, Kuzma plays 40 minutes, right?
Play him 48. Rotation. I really don't have specific rotations or substitution patterns in mind, but I just think that I ideally, and this was pointed out in the Laker Film Room podcast that I listened to earlier today. LeBron would play low 30s, and AD would play a little higher than that since he's a little bit younger. And,
Yeah,
and the main rotation guys would ideally play mid to high 20s, and I think we'd be good.
yeah. That's how our team, or how deep our team is,
Yeah, yeah.
especially in the front court. Just loaded. So
Probably a 10-man
I
rotation
think
anyway.
10-man rotation. So I don't really see a problem with LeBron sitting a couple of games, especially the back to backs.
Hmm.
So last question is, what's the hold up with the Anthony Davis signing? Should we be panicking?
Sorry. No,
Okay, so
no, no, no.
I think we can all in unison answer that. Should we? No, we are not panicking. Maybe he's choosing a fine suit and then announce something grand that he has resigned. Blah 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 blah. What's the hold up? I think. What? So Andrea, what do you think is a hold up?
I think they're trying to find the framework for his contract. That's my understanding, wherein he could get the most money, of course, and that he would be able. He would get the most money, and then the second priority is that it would be possible for us to sign another free agent in, is it next season or sorry, is it next season or in the next 2 years, something similar, something like that, when Yanis becomes a free agent, basically.
Yeah.
So they're trying to it's just about business, and it's
Yeah,
just about the framework
it's about that.
of the contract.
So same for you, Canon.
I think he's just gonna enjoy Thanksgiving turkey first before signing anything.
I
Uh,
actually or really wants to announce it on Thanksgiving so that Lakers would be thankful for this season. Interesting point about the Giannis that was I think brought up by Brian Windhorst. AD is thinking of signing a 1+1 deal
mhm.
so that he and LeBron can opt out next season and maybe entice Giannis to come to the Lakers.
Yeah,
So we are not aggregating or saying that Giannis will be um, joining the Lakers soon. We're not those type of fans, but this is smart
yeah.
actually.
it
Looking
gives
into
it
the
gives the
future
flexibility, yeah.
It
because
means that our superstars have a better understanding of the business of the game, better than other superstars.
yeah, because even LeBron knows he father time is undefeated. So we're lucky that he's still the best player in the world. But when he retires, Anthony Davis might be left here all alone. So better get that sidekick. Nah, just joking, Giannis. He's going to be 1A and 1B or 1A1, 1A.2 or something. Whatever. Imagine Giannis and AD on defense. It is it would be the worst thing for the NBA. So
The defensive
The best defensive player with Yanis.
yeah.
yeah, the defensive player of the year and the best defender in the actual best defender in the world. So that's it for this episode of the Lakers Nation PH podcast. Before we go, we would like to remind you guys that the Los Angeles Lakers are the 2019-2020 NBA champions. So thank you again, Andrea, Kenan. See you next week when training camp starts next week, right?
Yeah, I almost
Yes.
So, so I think our roster would be set by that time. So see you next week.
See you.
you.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hi, if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, please consider following us on our social media as well. We are at LakersNation_PH on both Twitter and Instagram, and Lakers Nation Philippines on Facebook. Thank you.